On this special edition of Lexington Now, a call for unity and continuing coverage of COVID-19. Welcome to Lexington Now for the week of June 1st, 2020. I'm your host, Neil Noah. Lexington is a city that has always sought to be an inclusive, welcoming community to all people, fostering justice and equality. As current events continue to unfold, Mayor Gorton has a special message for everyone.
My heart hurts for our nation as painful events rooted in injustice have left people dead or wounded and several families in pain. You don't have to live in Louisville or Minneapolis or Brunswick to feel that pain, as those who protested on our streets here showed last night. The protesters on our streets were joined in spirit by citizens across the city, including me. For many years, the last two as mayor, I've marched on the day we set aside to honor Martin Luther King Jr. Each year, I have vowed to continue to march toward diversity and inclusion, vowed to work diligently to combat injustice, vowed to make Lexington a city that truly welcomes everyone. For all the pain of recent days, they remind us once again of the urgent need to act. Lexington is a wonderful city, full of caring people, but we're not perfect. We've made progress, but there's more to do. The work ahead of us starts with listening to the voices of all of our citizens to ensure that people feel welcome here, all people. Listening, then working together every day, not just on Martin Luther King Day, to heal, bring unity, progress, and peace to our community. Thank you very much.
As the COVID-19 pandemic continues, there is news of some relief in the form of federal funding announced in a press event.
Last week, we learned that Kentucky cities will receive federal CARES Act coronavirus relief funds for COVID-related expenses. I've been urging our state and federal officials to provide these funds now for several weeks. At the same time, I've asked our citizens for patience. This budget is unlike anything we've ever seen in this city, and I have said it will be a continuing process to get all of our critical needs funded. Today, I'm announcing priorities for how I will recommend these funds and the savings they generate be spent. The city has had several teams working hard for weeks, documenting coronavirus-related expenses and identifying needs. It's important to establish priorities now. We must be very strategic in the way we use these funds. We've got to stretch every dollar. There are many needs, and we must protect our city as we respond to this crisis. We don't know whether we will get any additional funding. These are my recommendations for this funding, and I'm listing them in no particular order. Funding for the social services agencies we have supported in the past. Restoring funds for affordable housing. Restoring funds for homelessness initiatives, and replacing our city's rainy day fund. The budget I had to propose in April made cuts that hurt people who are in need of our help. The budget is based on a $40 million shortfall in revenue predicted for next year. Of course, COVID-related costs are increasing every day. At the time, I said it was not the kind of budget I wanted to present. I recognized the importance of these needs, even though I couldn't find the money for them in the fiscal year 21 budget I originally proposed. Generally, the priorities I'm recommending for the reimbursement funds are based on community needs and some on the city's financial stability. It's important to do both, provide for critical services and ensure our city remains on a sustainable path financially. We must take a fiscally responsible approach rather than taking more money out of our rainy day fund. Everyone should understand the city's financial picture will continue to change. On April 28th, when I presented my budget proposal, I felt our budget would go through several revisions because of the upheaval of this pandemic, and that's exactly what's happening. The Urban County Council will ultimately vote on how to spend these federal dollars. Council continues to debate and consider amendments to my proposed budget. The council is expected to ratify or take its first vote on the budget on June 2nd. The new budget will go into effect July the 1st. This federal funding gives me another reason to be optimistic about our future. As difficult as these past few weeks have been, I want our citizens to know there are plenty of reasons to have hope. I have confidence in Lexington's economy. We have every reason to believe it will recover and that the recovery will be swift. I have confidence in Lexington's citizens. Our citizens have done a great job at keeping this pandemic under control by social distancing, wearing masks, and staying home. And I have confidence that citizens will respect the importance of a gradual reopening as we work to avoid another spike in the virus cases. We've been healthy at home. We can now be healthy at work. Lexington, I have confidence we can do this together. Thank you very much.
At the onset of the pandemic, yard waste collection was temporarily suspended due to concerns surrounding the safety of solid waste workers. Collection is now back. Here's more.
I want to welcome everyone to a great day in Lexington. We've got a little bit bigger group today, but we're outside and we are all spread out, socially distanced. So first I want to introduce with us today is Nancy Albright, our Commissioner of Environmental Quality and Public Works. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Tracey Thurman, Director, Division of Waste Management. You scoot a little so they can see you. Councilmember McKern is here. I believe we might be in your district. Yes. Always happy to be in the 2nd District. And Russell Scott, our Collections Manager. Where'd Russell go? There you are. Shadrick Edmonds, Operations Manager. Dion Henry, there you are. Resource Recovery Operator. Lisa Spillman, Training and Safety. Hamilton Cole, Yard Waste Driver. And Shawnetta Thomas, Yard Waste Driver. Thank you all for being here and for what you do. These are some of the people who have made it possible for me to make this announcement today. On June the 1st, we will resume regular yard waste service in Lexington. That's right, that deserves a hand of applause. That means we will pick up yard waste each week on regular collection days, a big step forward. Collections were suspended March the 23rd because of the dangers posed by COVID-19 epidemic. I have to agree with a lot of citizens who have called my office. It was a tough time of year to suspend yard waste collections. People wanted to get out in their yards and clean up for spring. The weather was turning very nice back in March, but we had to protect our waste management employees. Picking up yard waste is more challenging than other types of collection. Rather than relying on a mechanical arm on a collection truck, yard waste is collected by hand by crew members who roll carts to the truck and must touch the handles and the lids. But now we feel we have sufficient personal protective equipment for our crews to allow us to resume regular service. I do want to ask our citizens to take one more step for safety. After you roll your yard waste cart to the curb, wipe down the handle and lid. It will take you about 5 seconds. Then as you return the cart back to your house, wipe it down again. Lexington's numbers of COVID-19 cases have remained low because we've taken simple precautions: social distancing, wearing masks, washing our hands, and now giving some extra attention to our yard waste carts. Thank you to all of our citizens for your patience. And now let's hear from Tracey Thurman, who's director of our Division of Waste Management. Tracey?
Thank you, Mayor Gordon. I appreciate your leadership and the administration, Commissioner Nancy Albright, and I appreciate the council. I appreciate Councilmember McKern being here today with us. That's very much appreciated. I really appreciate all the patience that the citizens of Lexington have had. It's been a tremendous effort. We've had to think about operations in new and different ways as we kind of navigate through COVID-19. But safety's always been our first priority for our employees. We want to make sure that they go safely home every day. And so, that has been, one of those things that you think about them every day being on the front lines. They're our essential workers. They've been out there navigating through the whole time and working and providing service. And I know they're excited to bring back yard waste as well. No one wants to be at full, we all want to be back to full service again. So that's important to everybody because we want to provide that quality service to you all. At this time, I guess I want to say a special thanks to Russell Scott for his leadership and his team. I know we've got Cedric Edmonds and we've got Chris Phillips that's not back here with us, but that's some of our managers, and also Lisa Spillman, who has been working to make sure that we have all that PPE out for our folks. We've had all of our supervisors and managers engaged in this to support our drivers on the front line. And I also want to say a special thanks to Dion Henry, union president. He has been helping partner with us and working towards solutions in all of this. These are challenging times, but everyone's been trying to work together to provide that service. It's just been a true team effort. And so I really appreciate that, and we look forward to continuing our service to Lexington and being a part of what keeps Lexington beautiful.
After the break, changes to voting during the pandemic.
Lexington is temporarily suspending collection of curbside yard waste. This temporary suspension is to help ensure we have the staff to continue weekly collection of trash and recycling. Please set your trash and recycling carts out on your regular collection day. You can help the employees collecting these materials by setting your carts out properly. Carts should be placed 3 feet from each other and other objects such as mailboxes and parked vehicles. Thanks for your help, Lexington, and stay well.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. Due to COVID-19, changes have been made to voting for the June 23rd primary election, as Fayette County Clerk Don Blevins explains.
Hey Lexington, Fayette County Clerk Don Blevins here. And I just want to say I'm super proud of us for the way we flattened the curve as the COVID crisis has unfolded. Lexington is leading the state. It's clear that we're doing very well with this crisis. We're going to continue our success by changing the election. How are we going to do that? We're going to vote by mail. You heard me right. You can vote from the comfort of your kitchen table. And guess what? The state's going to pay the return postage. All you have to do is request your ballot, and it's super easy. You go online to the portal, which is govoteky.com, govotekentucky.com, request your ballot, and eventually it'll arrive in the mail. Fill it out, follow the directions, and send it right back to us. Off you go. Couldn't be easier. And guess what? It's going to keep us apart so that we don't have a recurrence of the virus. There are other ways you can vote as well. You can vote in person on Election Day. Really wish you wouldn't do that, but we're going to have that capability for the small set of people who really need it. At Kroger Field on the south side of the stadium, there will be signage, and we'll put more directions out as we get closer to Election Day on June 23rd. You may also drop off your ballot at Kroger Field at the President's Pavilion on the southwest corner. We'll have an officer stationed there every day starting June 15th from about 8:30 to 4:30 so that you can drop your ballots off if you're not comfortable with sending it in via the mail. Another option we're going to have is for our disabled community. We've made arrangements to get in the senior center starting on June the 8th, and if you like, you can schedule an appointment to vote in person so that you can use our special machine and be able to vote independently. I would prefer that only those who really need that service to make the appointment. We need to reserve those slots for the people in our community that really, really need it. So I'm proud of you, Lexington. Let's keep doing this and doing it right.
Parks and Recreation has an update for June and its response to COVID.
At Parks and Recreation, we are constantly looking for new ways to be there for the community while being safe and following the guidelines we're being given by the CDC and the governor. So right now, a few of the things that you can enjoy at Parks and Rec are the boat dock at Jacobson Park. You can go golf at any of our golf courses. Our nature areas are open, and over 100 parks in Lexington are currently open. A few of the things you'll see still remaining closed are the playgrounds and the basketball courts present in all of our parks in Lexington. Right now I'm at Raven Run Nature Sanctuary. This is a great place to come with your household for a hike. You get to enjoy nature, you get some physical activity. Registration is free, but we do ask that everyone hop online and register a time slot to come hike. That helps us make sure that there's plenty of room for safe social distancing when you come for a visit. Like everyone else, we're taking this day by day, so please follow along with us on social media and visit our webpage at lexingtonky.gov/parks for the most updated information.
Parks and Rec also has some tips for projects you or your kids can do at home.
I'm Anthony Jackson with Lexington Parks and Recreation, and today we will be making nature scrapbooks. The materials you will need for a nature scrapbook are an iron, wax paper, scissors, and nature. Be sure to have adult supervision when using the iron and the scissors. Step 1, go out and collect your favorite items from nature. Today I chose leaves and a feather. When choosing a feather, make sure it's not still attached to a bird. After you collect your items from nature, you want to take your wax paper and tear it to size. I always like to tear my wax paper a little big and trim it at the end. So we'll put our leaf on one side of the wax paper and fold it over in half. After you have your leaf inside the wax paper, you want to iron it until the sides melt together. You'll want to set your iron to no steam. After your sides are fused, you want to trim down to the size you want. And there you have your first page in your nature scrapbook. The nature scrapbook is a great way to fuse your love of nature and arts and crafts.
Last time you learned how to get a library card at home. Here are the resources you can access with that card.
So let's take a look at Libby. And here we are. So I've actually got, I'm on my shelf, I've got an item I recently checked out. And let me pop over here to a search, and I'll also bring up an item just to click borrow to show you what you're going to see. So I can borrow this book, Unequal Affections, for 14 days. I can change that to 7 if I want. It tells me what card it's coming out on, and I just click borrow to borrow it. I'm not going to do that. If I do borrow it, it's going to send it to my shelf. It'll be checked out to me, but it's not downloaded or on my devices or anything yet. It also will give me the option, if I borrow, to just keep browsing and then manage my stuff at the end. So I'm not going to actually check that book out because I don't want it. I just wanted to show you what screen's going to come up. And I'm actually going to go ahead and go to my shelf where I do have a book I've checked out, Curtis Sittenfeld, eligible, and it's due in 14 days. I've already clicked Read with Kindle. This is where I could have chosen the type of book, EPUB or Kindle. EPUB is a Libby book, so it actually asks if you want to read it on Libby or read it in Kindle. So I chose Kindle, and if I go over to my web browser, when I choose Kindle, internet's running very slow, so I actually pre-opened this one. But when I choose Kindle, it sends it to Amazon and asks me to sign in to get my book. And all I need to do is click Get Library Book and have it delivered to the device of my choice. In this case, it's my second Kindle. And that is the process of getting your book. So let's go ahead and I'll send that, and it says, yep, it'll be delivered next time you sync. And that is that. So that's the process of checking the book out. If I wanted to return it early, I can just come down here, Manage Loan, and click Return Early, and it's going to handle it in the background. And now, actually, if I've never downloaded that book to my Kindle to start with, it's going to not let me download it, which is fine. I didn't want to read the book. I just wanted to show how to check one out.
Hi everyone, this is Jonna Walden with the Lexington Public Library. Do you know that Ancestry.com has opened up its library edition for home use? If you go through our website, you can access Ancestry for free, and I'm going to show you 3 ways of how to access Ancestry Library Edition off of our website. Our website is lexpublib.org. Okay, so the first way, you're going to go to Collections, and you're going to go, let me try that again. Go to Collections and go to Databases. Now, if you have used our databases before, this will look very familiar to you. Do take time to stop and look at some of our other databases that we have to offer. Lynda.com is a very popular class, mostly dealing with tech problems, tech issues. And there's also Mango to learn a language. There is Ancestry Library Edition. You will need to put in your library card number and your PIN number, which is usually the last 4 numbers of your primary phone number, and click Log In. And it will take you to Library Edition of Ancestry.com. Okay. Let me show you another option to access Ancestry. Let's go back to the home page. And this is the current website. And if you scroll down, there's our popular databases to look at there. But Ancestry Library Edition is right there. And again, it takes you to their main page. Let me show you a third way to access Ancestry Library Edition. So we're going to go back to Collections, but now we're going to go to Genealogy and Local History. So this is our Kentucky Room page. And if you scroll down, again, take time to explore the page. There's the digital archives. The Kentucky Room has been hard at work scanning materials. There are history lessons, tales from the Kentucky Room. There are walking tours of downtown Lexington. And then we get to some of our other databases dealing with genealogy. Some of these do require that you have a library card. Find a Grave is just a website that you can access from anywhere. Do take time to look at the local history index. It is an index of the Lexington Herald. And then you can click on Ancestry Library Edition, and again it takes you right to the page. You will need your library card number and your PIN number.
The city has suspended most regular meetings due to the pandemic until further notice, but the council has adjusted to meeting virtually. Lex TV is covering these virtual meetings live. Check our website for the most accurate, up-to-date information and coverage of city business. The city continues to keep you up to date on our official COVID-19 response page. Simply click on the banner at the top of our homepage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter @LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.